Everyone, it's Essie here with a process video for Go Go Getaway, and today I'm demonstrating a technique that was used taught at one of the day away events last year, and I'm using texture paste to stamp on my layout. I've got two colours of Nuvo Embellishment Mousse, Peony Pink and Calypso Coral, and I've mixed them on a tile, you can see beside me, with some Vicki Boutin Iridescent Glaze. Now I've added the glaze because the embellishment mousse is quite thick. It's thicker than some other texture pastes, and in order to make it sort of pliable enough and soft enough to stamp with, it just needed thinning down a bit. So I've added that iridescent glaze, and it's helped to give a nice pearly shimmery finish to it. Now, as you can see there, I'm just adding some colour onto my background with a gelato in Guava, and I've got a set of acrylic stamps there. I'm afraid I've lost the packaging, so I'm not sure what brand they are, but I've got two heart stamps from that set, and I'm just going to start picking up the embellishment mousse on my stamp to bring onto my layout, just using my palette knife there to smooth it down, and also to keep the acrylic block clean around the stamp, because when I was practicing earlier I ended up getting little blobs of embellishment mousse where I didn't want them because the acrylic block was messy. So just starting off with my first stamping, and obviously the nature of the mousse and the stamping means that you're not going to get a perfect stamp finish, but I love the texture and the distressed look of these stamps, and how, you know, stamping with this texture paste or embellishment mousse, I just love the look it gives. I believe that Nikki taught this technique at one of her day away events, and I think she used a Shimmers texture paste product, but I haven't got any, so I'm using the Nuvo. I really like Nuvo Embellishment Mousse. As I said, it is quite thick, and it's lovely for using through stencils, but thinning it down with the iridescent glaze means it does stamp beautifully. So I'm just coming in with my second stamp, slightly different. I think that one hasn't got, the first one I've used has sort of got stripes across, and this one is more solid. So just coming in to create more lines of stamping. And as you can see there, I finished my stamping and I've let that dry, and I'm now coming in with a script stamp. I think this is a Kaisercraft even stamp, and I'm just holding it in my hand and using some archival ink in watering can to add some more detail on the background there. Using it in my hand instead of an acrylic block gives a distressed, sort of imperfect stamping, which is a look that I love, and I use that a lot. So I'm going to use papers and embellishments from the Pink Paisley Auburn Lane collection. This is a photograph of myself and my partner at my niece's wedding last year, and I bought the Auburn Lane collection to scrap the wedding because it matched the colours of her wedding colours. She had beautiful corally pink flowers and decorations, and I wore pink as well, so luckily it also matches with the little bit of my outfit that you can see there. So I'm just choosing a colour from papers from the 6x8 paper pad. I love that they've more and more ranges are doing these larger paper pads. I like the 6x6s, but these 6x8s are just a little bit more versatile, and they go a bit further. Obviously the sheets are a little bigger. So starting off with sort of a dark neutral colour underneath there that's got some touches of metallic in, and then adding a pink layer underneath. Just sort of, I haven't trimmed that completely down all the way yet because I'm not quite sure how I want my layers to sit. I don't want to cover up too much of the stamping on the background, but I do like layers that kind of overlap each other and are not always sort of central. So just deciding how I want those layers to be before I cut them down finally. So I am going to yeah, I've decided I am going to trim them right down so there's no extra hanging over the edges, because otherwise it would cover up quite sort of almost all of that background, which I don't want to do. So I've just decided on my layers, just making some final trims, and I'm going to add my photograph with some foam sheet. That's a self-adhesive, and I'm just adding some tape runner on the other side, sticking the layers together, and then I'll just place them on my layout over the background. So that's my photograph placed with the layers behind. And so now it's time to add some additional embellishments. I've chosen this Thickers title. These are glittery thickers, phrase thickers from the Chamel Head in the Clouds range. And they are the same sort of lovely rose gold colour that you find that's in the Auburn Lane collection as well. So they match beautifully. So I'm just sticking that down. I fiddle around with that quite a bit. I do find those phrase stickers tricky to get in the right place because they move about. And I think I peel it off again later and just adjust it again slightly. So I'm just using a phrase sticker there. I'm just matting it onto some more of the patterned paper. And I've got some little tiny phrase stickers there as well. They're not Auburn Lane, they're I can't remember where they're from. I'm just going to add, just fiddling about with the positioning, seeing what I want to add where. I think I do end up using that. I take it off again, or I know I use one of those from that sheet. Yeah, going back to the same one and just adding it onto a piece of that pink to mat and layer that sentiment stamp as well. I really like using text and phrases on my layouts. I like words. I'll use often a lot of my layouts have often got text in the background, either with stencils or stamps. I'm just layering that up around my photograph. So I've got some little bits from the Auburn Lane ephemera pack. I think I've also I found a couple of bits from the Jen Hadfield range as well, Heart of Home. I think they kind of match quite nicely, but I'm not sure if I end up using any of them. I think I do use all of the bits from Auburn Lane. So I've got those little hearts, stickers, which I'm adding up at the top there. That gold one, and then that pretty black and white one. And yeah, just another little heart in that lovely burgundy colour, which matches my other half's tie. And then I've got some stickers from the sticker pack again. There's some more little phrases, some little hearts as well. I often put things down and take them off again when I'm at this stage. I never sort of stick things down very firmly until I've definitely decided that that's what I want to go on, because I often change my mind. I think those little stickers stay You and Me, and then there's some X's and noughts and crosses, kisses on that black little sticker. I've got some little puffy stickers there coming in with some puffy hearts just to add into those clusters, give a little bit more texture. And I've also got some little enamel hearts as well, which are also in the Auburn Lane. I think there's pink ones and the rose gold colour as well. Oh, swapping those stickers around. See, I said I'd change my mind a lot. And I'm fairly happy with that, with those clusters. I'm going to add some Nouveau drops. I think that's Copper Penny, that one's called. just adding little Nuvo drops in each of the 3 clusters that I've got going on around my title and photograph. And as often happens at this stage, when I've finished a layout, I decide that I want to put a frame round it. So I'm just getting my 12 by 12 papers out from the Auburn Lane collection and choosing that beautiful patterned burgundy paper. I'm just trimming off 1/2 inch from 2 sides of my layout. I don't want a huge border. And then I'm gutting the middle of that paper so that I've got lots left to use on another project. Just trimming that down, just trimming that section out and laying my layer over the top to get that lovely frame, and I think that just finishes it off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you here again soon. Bye.